Hello and welcome to another episode of 3 a.m. with myself, your host, Acid Strain. Tonight we got Pyro on panel,
Hey.
along with Lightning.
Yo, interwebs.
And we got a very special guest, shock rocker bassist for White Tuxedo. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Shocker.
How's it going?
Got a little too excited there. You might have noticed that we have a new intro. This one we're going to stick to. It's a piece by Jaco Pastorius of Weather Report known as Teen Town. Very, very nice jazz piece. And that leads us to our topic for tonight. Performance artists. Anyone from, musicians, artists, even actors get into it. You want to say something about this, Johnny?
Yes, performance art is a form of art. It's a visual. Different types of performance art. There's audio. There's stuff you can see on the street. Some people do where they just do weird movements. Performance art can be about something happening in your life or current events. That's pretty much some of the few things that.
Let me ask you something real fast. Do you have any principal interests that got you into performance art?
I have to say, my first visit to Museum of Modern Art in New York City probably was 3 or 4 years ago. I was just up on that floor and it was everywhere, and I was just like, this is really cool. It's different, and I just thought, this is something I think I like.
Now I know you're a musician. And I'm gonna have to ask this because you might see this coming, but do you happen to compare your style to that of Gwar, the shock rock band?
Yes, in a way.
For those of you who don't know who Gwar is this faux metal band who goes on stage in latex costumes and quote unquote executes people on stage. They draw influence from people like Alice Cooper and Ozzy, who will the whole shock and shock rock, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They really took it to the next level.
Definitely.
One more influencer said, I gotta say one quick thing. This new band that I'm getting into is Skinny Puppy. Their performances, their lead singer, he does a lot of self-mutilation with a lot of blood. So that's one of my newer influences.
That's some cool stuff. I gotta mention, and it just occurred to me now, mentioning Jaco Pastorius. Jaco was actually that of an aspiring performance artist, which is a little known fact. He would go on stage in Indian war paint and sometimes cover himself in mud to show that he was closer to the earth. Changing the subject a little. Our fellow panel member, and I have to make this announcement, is going to university for filmography. You want to talk to us about that, Lightning?
Yes, I'm going to Montclair State, going for film or cinematography. Little known fact, the actual college of Montclair is not an actual artsy kind of college. First off, it was an all-girls college originally. And then from there, they actually made different branches. So I will actually be attending for the College of the Arts in Montclair State, which is weird to say. But yeah, cinematography, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that because I love film and I love the script writing and everything that goes into it. And I could have nothing more to be actually happier for what I have chosen for my future.
Well, so the thing, it's a kind of a fine line to cross, but I dare say that film in itself is a form of, performance art. I mean, you gotta realize that they're putting themselves out there.
Of course.
Yeah.
You get people who star in plays. Me and Pyro were in a play together.
Oh, yeah.
We were in a high school production a little while back of, what was it? City of Angels? It's a pretty cool play.
It's interesting. A while back, I was probably about 11 or 12 when I went to go see this. I go to see a lot of plays with my family, whether it be Broadway or just any old playhouse. There's this little place called the Paper Mill Playhouse in Central Jersey. They put on a production of The Diary of Anne Frank.
Ooh.
And it was not like the graphic detail of the whole thing. Basically, on the stage was a house, not the house, but the attic that Anne Frank spent majority of World War II in.
Right.
And it just very pretty much explained how her life was and how the rest of their lives were, spending 2 years up in this attic. And in the end, the Nazi soldiers come in, they take her. And it's interesting because Anne Frank's parents, I forget their names, when her father bought her the diary. It was just a little thing to help her get through the stay in the attic. And he found it in the attic when he actually survived in the death camp that he was staying at.
Right.
And I think it's been translated into over like 15 different languages.
Yeah, that's like one of those stories that is so emotional that it gets across
Yeah.
to many people all over the world.
Considering you either have like people from the Holocaust themselves, which is like amazing and remarkable, but also it's like an actual documentation how it actually was transcribed into like an actual book, and how people have
Yeah.
seen it, like translated it into the actual day, like between movies and books. You know, it really is something that people should read.
You guys have got something good going on. Let me stop you for a second, because I dare to say, speaking on Johnny's behalf, that's what performance art is all about, to show the human hardships that everybody
Oh,
goes through at
Yeah.
such a raw emotional level.
Marina Abramovich, a lot of her stuff is about feminism too.
Isn't she
Yeah.
that performance artist? She like carves things into her stomach. She tortures herself.
So yeah, she took a knife, she carved a star. It was about pain and how it's not, and from where she's from, tolerating pain is good.
Getting back to performance art. The problem with performance art is some people claim to do that stuff, and a lot of their career is based off of taking from other artists. You guys have any opinions on this?
Well,
On taking from other artists, or
Yeah.
when it first started, like people see, how it's done, and I'll take from a shocker for example, like 50s Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Yes.
His thing, and then it went on to Arthur Brown, then to Cooper, then to Kiss, and then present day.
Yeah, you see that a lot in music, I'm afraid.
You see from performance art from the 70s how a lot of it is not similar, but
Yeah, well, there's a
has-
difference. There's a difference between influence and just flat out taking things.
Well, one thing I thought of, that art can be influenced by just about anything. Because, like, think about it. In the 70s and early 80s, there was a whole bunch of war going on.
Right. War is
And,
usually
like-
a big. Like you look at Bob Dylan.
Art is, like, influenced by what's going on in the world around you.
Right.
People say that, like, oh, he took that from me.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you
Okay.
there for a second. I hate to burst this train of thought because it's a definitely a good topic. But you're saying art is being influenced by things around it. Well, how do you explain like pop artists like Katy Perry or Lady Gaga or people like that?
So one of the things that you guys had mentioned is that this performing art thing, you can be influenced the things around you. I agree with that, but at the same time, I can somewhat disagree at the fact that it is not only by the things around you. You can say that, oh, well, this inspired me, this person inspired me. That's great. But the thing is like pop artists. Katy Perry is definitely one of them. Katy Perry had gone through a lot of things in her life trying to become what she wanted to be. That like movie, if you guys had seen the movie or like little clips of the movie, you actually see kind of how her run through her life, how she kept trying to persevere right after another, where record companies kept her to work for their company, but all of a sudden just dropped her. Having stuff like that actually affecting the person's actual emotion is more of emotional ties by things that have actually happened to you. And we not only can say that this performing art can be music or actually art itself, a lot of things around the world between skateboarding.
Let me
you know?
stop you there. I think what you're trying to say is it's a display of human emotion. But Johnny, what were you saying?
Well, I have to say I agree with him, and that's where it comes how performing arts ended up becoming different. I can't say like different forms, because like I was gonna say originally something before about how turn of the century, how things changed, how they did it, but it's not. You're not, like I said, you're not limited. You can have outside influences, and you can also be with yourself, how you feel about stuff. Bruce Nauman was more about that. Marina Abramovich was both. Like, I do agree.
Well, I hate to cut this short, but we're kind of going over our limits, so I'm going to have to stop you there. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for joining us, Johnny. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you very much.
Here, thank you very much.
And I'm going to end this episode with a question for the viewer, like what we plan to do for every week. Pop artists, amazing display of human emotion, or just a load of crap? You decide. Anyway, this has been 3 a.m. with me, Acid Strain, and my lovely panel members. Sayonara.